Hey everybody, Ty here. In today's video, I want to talk about how to buy cryptocurrency, a little bit about how I first went about acquiring Bitcoin, uh, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the strategy of perhaps you want to end the road with just getting some Bitcoin, or maybe you want to get into some more diverse alternate coins. And so we'll start with how to turn your US dollars into Bitcoin or Ethereum, for example. And then from that state, we'll go and use SparkPoint SRK, an altcoin, and I'll show you how to acquire something like that and a little bit of the strategy I use to decide where to purchase it, how to purchase it, to make sure I'm making smart choices so my funds are as safe as they can be. So I have a lot of friends still that ask me, Ty, I know you're into cryptocurrency, what is it? How do I buy it? And then when they ask me those questions, I can't simply say, go to this place. It's not a short answer. It's a little complex still on how to acquire cryptocurrency. I remember when I first started, it was a little overwhelming, and I don't want to give them such a short answer because it's not efficient because I don't want them to get in financial troubles or make a mistake. So we're going to go through a little bit of detail, how to proceed, and I'll be able to, when my friends ask, how do I purchase cryptocurrency, etc., I can say, well, go ahead and have a look at this video, and we'll go from there. So the first thing here in the US and what I've used is I create a Coinbase account. You go to coinbase.com. There's a couple of other options, I believe Gemini, and some other ones for us US users, where we need to get our US dollars from our bank account or our debit card into cryptocurrency. That's one of the most limited areas for us, plus it's where one of the highest fees associated are. So I use Coinbase. I've used it for a few years. I have no problems with it. So go to coinbase.com, follow the steps. You'll have to enter an email. They'll want you to take a couple of selfie photographs of your ID front and back, plus one of yourself to verify your account. You link your bank account to it, and then you get verified, and usually takes a few minutes. Sometimes it can be a couple hours, and then you're free to purchase cryptocurrency. So that'll bring you more or less to this home screen or the dashboard of Coinbase. So a little bit on this. Coinbase started out with just a few primary tokens: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash was listed. Since then, they've grown slightly to offer some more coins, but it's still very limited what you're able to purchase here. So let's come over here. We can look at the prices. These are the coins that you can actually purchase on Coinbase, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. They've started to grow their altcoin market a little bit down to, OXT, which is the lowest market cap project offered, at 12.8 million market cap. You see I have some funds in my Coinbase currently. It's actually OXT because I think the supply versus the market cap is something that interests me. So I've acquired a few in the meantime. So back to the basics. You want to buy Bitcoin. You have your account hooked up here. Your checking account's in. You're like, all right, it's time to buy. I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. So you can go into the prices here, click the trade. You would buy, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. Otherwise, you can choose the coin you want to buy. I have my bank account here. If you have debit cards and things like that hooked up, you would be able to use that also. The difference between the checking account is you're going to pay a less of a fee, but it's going to take several days. I believe it's 6 days for that transaction to clear, meaning if you want to send your Bitcoin somewhere else to then buy another coin, you have to wait those 6 or 7 days to be able to do that, for the funds all to clear. So in cryptocurrency, 6 or 7 days sometimes is a long time because of the volatility. But you can also buy larger amounts using that. If you use a debit card, you're going to pay a little bit higher fee. You can only spend X amount of dollars per week. That's less than the ACH transfer, but the funds are available to send immediately. So that's two things to consider. So I would buy, whatever I want here, and it's instant. There is some cases where your bank will recognize Coinbase as some kind of fraudulent type thing, and I have had often where my bank is like, it fails, and it says we can't, transaction declined. So I call my bank, and I said, yes, I'm trying to make this purchase. They say, okay, that's fine. And then I do it again, and it's cleared. One more thing, once you have your Bitcoins or whatever you have in here, for zero fee, you can exchange your Bitcoin, or in this case, I have my orchids. So if I want to swap those, if I'm like, all right, my orchid went up, 10%, I want to switch it back to Ethereum or something, I select it, and I can convert it, and there's no fee to convert between coins. So in short, that's it. You now own Bitcoin. We went from US dollars to Bitcoin, and now you can just leave it in here. Coinbase is secure. You can just let it sit, go to your home, and you can look at the little charts. You can set up a little watch list and all of that, but now your funds are safe, and you're good to go. The problem is, I guess, with a lot of my friends and just a lot of people in general, the price of Bitcoin right now is $9,400. And a lot of people think, well, I only have a couple $100 to invest, maybe $1,000, not so much. But part of the joy for me in cryptocurrency is that I feel it's an opportunity to, basically hit big, right? Some of these projects, I want to turn, a minimal amount of money into a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, who doesn't? So if I only have $1,000 to invest, let's say Bitcoin is $10,000, right? So I'm going to get 1/10 of a Bitcoin, 0.1 Bitcoins. Well, if I want to make $1 million, Bitcoin's going to have to go to $10 million in order for that to happen. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but that's a long shot, right? You're going to be waiting for a long time if Bitcoin's going to hit $10 million. I don't think that'll ever happen, but who knows, right? So then what do? You start to get into some of what these are called alternate coins. Basically, they're alternates of Bitcoin, and they're cheaper. So you could say, well, I don't want to branch out from Coinbase. I want to stay here for a little bit and test the waters. So that's where you would buy something like Orchid or Basic Attention Token. These are, significantly lower market caps than Bitcoin. So you could say, well, I still think that Basic Attention Token can raise to $10 a coin, and you're going to turn your thousands of dollars into tens of thousands of dollars, which is great too. The thing about coins listed on Coinbase is they're already pretty mainstream, meaning they have experienced a boost in price most likely because of the notability of them being listed on exchanges such as Coinbase. So you might say, well, I want to find a coin that's less established or less well known. Or I heard my friends talking about, I'm an advocate of SparkPoint. I heard these people, or my buddy told me about SparkPoint. It's not on here. What do? I want to try to go that route and get a little bit more deeper down the rabbit hole of cryptocurrency. So we're going to leave Coinbase now, and the first step I would say is one of the best tools is to go to coinmarketcap.com. This is information about any cryptocurrency that is, active. Some are good, some are bad. You have to sift through, but we'll do a quick look at this. So what is it showing? It's showing me the top coins based on the market cap. So that's total worth of all the coins in circulation. It gives you a note on the supply, which is important to pay attention to because, you can say, wow, this coin's only $2 $2. That's crazy, but they have a significant more supply than, say, Bitcoin does. So that's where you get these big differences in price, is because there's just simply more coins, and obviously nothing is as popular as Bitcoin currently, aside from Ethereum. So again, I'm going to pretend I'm going to buy some SparkPoint. I heard about it, and I don't know where to start. I want to go buy it. So up here in the right, I know the handle's SRK. I'm going to type in SRK, and this will take me to the CoinMarketCap little outlook of SparkPoint itself. I come in here, and these are interesting facts. I want to look at the supply ratios and stuff, but I've already done some research on SparkPoint, so I know I want to buy it. I just want to know where to buy it and sort of how to go about doing that. So if you click down here on market pairs, either one of the volumes will be fine for this case. You can look at where is it trading. This is interesting. Okay, so some maintenance going on with Bitmart. So where is it trading? It's trading on Bitmart, Hotbit, and Sato Exchange, is what according to CoinMarketCap. And then you want to look at where is it trading, with reasonable volume. Well, it looks like the Bitmart SparkPoint versus BTC pair has the highest volume, whereas Ethereum is a little bit less, and then if I go to Hotbit, it's a little bit less. So what does that mean? It means it's going to be a little bit easier for me to buy and or sell SparkPoint on an exchange with higher volume. The next issue is, do you have access to this exchange? Some US users or other users around the world are restricted from using certain exchanges. So generally you can go to that exchange's website and search the information to what restrictions are there for users, and they will say, in our case, there is a restriction for US users. Typically, if there's no restriction, they won't say there's no restriction. It just doesn't say there is a restriction. So great, I found SparkPoint's trading highest volume on Bitmart, so I want to go over there and see what I find. So when you go to your exchange, you're going to want to do the same setup you did with Coinbase. You're going to create an account, you're going to enter your email, you're going to provide the selfies of your ID, etc. And again, it'll take a matter of minutes to hours for the verification process to finish, and then you have your account. So far you've sent no money in here, all things like that. So go to your trading. We're going to come in and find a coin that we're interested in, which in this case is SparkPoint against Bitcoin. So you can see over here, these are people selling the coin, these are people buying the coin, and you want to buy 10 million. So it looks like there's a good chance for me to buy 10 million coins right here. So I will go basically up here where you have your new account. You're going to go to assets. You're going to find whatever you had in Coinbase. So over here I had, let's say I had that 0.1 Bitcoin. So I'm going to go back into Bitmart. I'm going to find Bitcoin here. I'm going to hit deposit because I want to send Bitcoins in. Now, it's going to give me my address to deposit. It's also going to give me this little QR scanner. So at that point, I would copy this link, and then I come back to my Coinbase, and I would go to my portfolio. If I had Bitcoin in here right now, I would click this. You click send, and then it types in your, where it says wallet address or receiving address. You would enter that that line that we just copied, and then you verify with 2FA, etc., and you click send. Bitcoin's a little bit slower. Ethereum's a little bit faster, but we decided we wanted to buy the SRK with Bitcoin, so you would wait momentarily. Sometimes it can take minutes to a couple of hours with Bitcoin, depending on sort of activity in the market. So now we would just come back to spot trading, and we'll find our SRK, BTC. We have our Bitcoin. It would give us a value here. You would just type in the price at which you want to buy it. We have a busy server. That's good. So I want to buy, 10 million up to this 41 value. So, I would change this to 41. I would type in, 10 million here. There we go. And voila. Just click buy, and then you'll see it all happen over here on the market trade activity. And now I have SparkPoints. So there's still probably one more thing you want to do. You want to get SparkPoints off of exchanges. We don't like to store money on exchanges. Exchanges can go down. They can be hacked. CEOs of exchanges and things can just take off, and if you leave it in an exchange and somebody goes somewhere, you can potentially lose all your money. So if you want to hold on to it for a little bit, weeks or months, then it's best to get these SparkPoints off of this exchange. So SparkPoint themselves has a couple of options. They have this wallet. However, it's only available on Android devices. So you would go to the Google Play Store. You can find the SparkPoint cryptocurrency wallet. Again, you do a similar process. You create an account. You're going to get what's called a seed phrase, which you'll see often in cryptocurrency. It's I think 10 or 12 words, random words in order. And if you ever lose your password or something like that, or you decide to download the wallet on a new device, the way you recover your account is by entering this seed phrase. So when you get something like a seed phrase, you need to put it somewhere very safe that you can always find it, maybe a password protected document, and try not to send it around to people. Don't keep it in your phone. If you lose your phone, you don't want people to get it. So just be smart about that. There's other options because Android is the only choice with the SparkPoint wallet currently. There's the Trust wallet that's a Binance partner. It's pretty reputable. Many people use it. There's some exchange features within this wallet as well, and you can use this on iOS. So same thing. You would set up. You probably get some kind of seed phrase, all of this, and you can store your SparkPoints in here. And so now that we've created a wallet, we want to go ahead and get our SparkPoints off of the exchange and send them to the wallet. So again, you'll go back to your little account, go to the Assets tab, and all exchanges are a little bit different, but essentially they're set up the same way. So here it says Assets. If it's a different exchange, it'll be a similar process, just worded probably a little different. So we'll type in SRK, or I could just scroll down to find it. It's important to know that each coin has its own address. So when you go to deposit or withdraw a coin, you're going to find an address exclusive to that. So Bitcoin's address for my wallet is going to be different than my Ethereum address. So you want to make sure you copy the corresponding address that's exclusive to that coin into wherever you're going to deposit those and where you're going to type them in. So I'll come over here to withdraw. This is where I would put in that address that I got for SRK from the wallet I want to deposit in. You'll type in the amount you want to send here. There's a exchange fee, which is usually not so bad, and then you would just click withdraw. They'll ask you a couple of verification questions. Probably have to click something in your email, and then your SparkPoint is now on its way to your wallet, and it'll be there in a few minutes, sometimes faster. So now we have SparkPoint off the exchange in our wallet, and we're good to go there. That's it. So, back to Coinbase is a very safe place if you just want to sort of get into cryptocurrency and, test it out. This is a good way to go. And then if you want to get farther into or potentially start to turn small values into much larger values and play sort of this altcoin riskier game, then you would go and create something on other exchanges, and hopefully you make the right move there. So I hope that helps on how to get started in cryptocurrency. We turned our US dollars into Bitcoins, and then we went to turn our Bitcoins into SparkPoints, and then we went to take our SparkPoints and put them somewhere safe. And then to do the opposite, to get it back into US dollars, you basically reverse order of those operations, and then you have your money back in your wallet. All right, thanks for watching. Take care.